Welcome, travelers, to High Fantasy. I'm Brett. I clapped and I shouldn't have clapped. You got me clapping. I need my herb pouch. Daddy's been paying for my salt.
This
I'm part of the poop patrol, ma'am.
And I'm Emily. But I'm like, don't make the robots.
Don't make the robots
crunch. I would speak with dinosaur in a second. I have beef with DC. It's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Join us on our epic world-spanning adventures. Armed with only a bit of long-bottom leaf, we will delve into some of the most amazing worlds of imagination that have ever existed. Before we get into that, don't forget to check out our Patreon if you want to support the channel. And without further ado, let's get into it.
You can clap.
You can.
Yay!
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Ho 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 High Fantasy. I'm Brett.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
And other holidays you might be celebrating. I'm Emily.
Holidays you might be celebrating. Today, we are going to be starting our Christmas saga. And we're going to jump in with the biggest question for Christmas. That's how much do you know about Christmas?
I thought the biggest question around Christmas is Santa real? But she answers yes, by the way.
Yes.
How much do I know about Christmas? I know that it was originally, I believe, a pagan tradition that got blasphemed by the church.
Blasphemed.
And now it's just a capitalistic nightmare that's really festive and enjoyable.
I love that. You're not wrong. However, what if I were to tell you that the church taking over this tradition made it less hedonistic?
Dun dun dun! Pagans never did anything heathenistic.
What? No.
Hey,
now,
if I want to hear what I'm not gonna claim to be a heathen yet. I guess I should hear what they're doing.
We have so much to get into today.
I love it.
The lore of Christmas as a holiday is immense. It is vast. And it is very twisty.
Ooh.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Now, December 25th has been a federal holiday since 1870.
Okay.
But how did it come about? Well, to understand this, let's go back in time a bit. Centuries before Jesus was born, the early Europeans celebrated light and birth in the darkest days of winter.
Okay.
Many people rejoiced on winter solstice, as it meant the worst of the cold dark was behind them.
Mm-hmm.
In Scandinavia, the Norse people would celebrate Yule on December 21st through January to mark the return of the sun. Fathers and their sons would bring back large logs that they would set ablaze and feast until the fire went out. This could take up to 12 days.
Okay. I feel like I knew this.
Yule log.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I love not deep delving necessarily, but I love the traditional, more pagan rituals around Christmas rather than the Christmassy Christmas ones where it's go to church and then open your presents.
I'm gonna blow your mind at the end.
Oh, my mind's ready to be blown.
But we're gonna get to that. So, again, that's a pretty big freaking log.
Yeah, that's a big log.
12 days. Now, they believed that each spark from the fire would be a newborn baby animal that would be born that year.
Aww.
So they had, if, how many sparks there were, it was new pigs, new cattle, and stuff that would be born,
okay.
So they would have a good year that year.
Okay.
If there was a lot of sparks.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Really fun idea, right?
I can even see how that translates into actually being, so if there's more sparks because there's either less or more moisture in the air, maybe that determines what the weather's going to kind of be like that. I could see why they would get those rituals, or get those
ideas,
superstitions.
Yeah, the superstitions in their head. Now, the end of December was the best time to celebrate in Europe, as all of the cattle were slaughtered, so they would not have to be fed during the cold winter months. For many, this was the only time of year that they had fresh meat.
Okay.
This was also the time when most of the beer and wine that they had fermented through the entirety of the season would be finished.
Okay, it's celebration time. The end of the year is truly like the harvest. Like everything is dead, so we just eat a bunch of food and be revel because otherwise we would be inescapably depressed by the wasteland that is just nature.
Right? It's also crazy because, like, we talked a little bit about this on Halloween,
Uh
where
huh.
it's like Samhain was meant to be a celebration of, like, this is the last of the good times we're gonna have
Uh huh.
before winter sets in. And I can't emphasize enough how big of a problem winter was.
Oh, it's especially back then when you didn't have things like insulation
Yeah.
or steady food sources, like when everything came down to that harvest that year
Mm-hmm.
to fully make it through an entire season and you couldn't just hop down to the Walmart and be like, "Give me some eggs."
Yep.
Mm,
Exactly. Now, in some places, it wasn't quite that cold.
okay.
In Rome, since it wasn't as cold, they had a different festival that they celebrated.
Oh, what did they celebrate?
Now, this was called Saturnalia, in honor of Saturn, the god of agriculture. Started a week before solstice and went on for a full month.
Okay.
This is going to get crazy, and you're going to want to pay extreme attention to this because it has precedence later.
You're asking me to pay extreme attention. I'm on it.
Now, for this holiday, all slaves would be given temporary freedom and treated as equals in Rome. Yeah.
Okay, wow. I can't
Yeah.
tell if wow, that's just a wild thing to think about because obviously slavery is so messed up as
Mm-hmm.
is, and then to be like, here's a month of freedom,
Yep.
but wait, because after that month's over, that's
But
wild.
for that whole month, like, buddy,
You're choking on your tongue, bud.
buddy,
It's
you
okay.
adorable girl. All right. Yes. So for this whole month, schools and businesses all shut down. So getting back into it, are you ready?
Yes, I am so ready. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. So, for this whole month, all of the schools and all of the businesses in Rome were shut down.
You know what it kind of sounds like?
Hmm.
No, because you said it's warmer down there, so they would still have harvest and they would still have everything. So it's like it kind of just sounds like they don't want to feed the slaves anymore.
Yeah, no, this was literally the most bountiful like experience that you're going to have.
That's crazy.
Food and drink everywhere, as well as, well,
Revelry?
revelry.
Revelry!
That's a great way of putting it. Yes.
That's certainly one way to put
That's
it.
certainly one way to say it, PG. So during this time, it was kind of this big like celebration of joy and laughter and like abundance and this is awesome, and everyone was equal. The entire structure of Rome's like people nobility was just turned on its head.
I think we should do some traditions again.
Oh, you're gonna like it even more. There's more to come.
Okay, tell me more.
So this is what was happening in Rome.
Yes.
However, this was so popular that it is widely thought that when the Pope Julius I chose December 25th, hold on, as the supposed day that Jesus was born, he did so to hopefully adopt and absorb Saturnalia.
Okay.
So it was literally so popular that the Pope was hoping that this new holiday that they came up with, which was supposed to be Jesus' birthday, would basically eat this other huge holiday if he said it was on the same day. If it was going to take place on that same time.
That's crazy. And he wanted it to basically, did he want to get rid of it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Revelry and freedom? Of course the Pope doesn't want that.
He wanted to take all of the popularity that holiday had and absorb it into his own holiday.
That's crazy.
Something for the church.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you ever heard of Saturnalia before.
Never.
Worked, didn't it?
That's just a crazy concept to me. The church did it, folks. They did it.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something kind of crazy. This is all one big Illuminati conspiracy.
Oh, I love her.
And this is the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, I love a good conspiracy theory. What are we going to title this? Like, Conspiracies at Christmas?
Christmas conspiracies. Theories in the snow. Anyway.
Theories in the snow. You're good at that.
Thank you.
Just coming up with random titles.
Now, this new holiday, called at first the Feast of Nativity, spread to Egypt by 432 AD, so after death.
Yeah.
And to England by the 6th century.
Okay.
So the church basically had created this brand new holiday, right?
Yeah.
And it had no previous meaning before other than a bunch of pagan festivals that happened around this time, because a lot of different people from a lot of different cultures celebrated the solstice, winter solstice.
Yeah.
For their own reasons, but it was mostly just because, like, hey, we're not dead. Was a really
Y'all want a party because stuff's starting to grow again?
Was a really big one. It was huge.
Snow's melting. I'm in.
So, by holding Christmas at the same time most of the winter solstice festivals would be held, the church increased the chances that their holiday would be positively embraced. But with so much back and forth as to how it was to be celebrated, they gave up on telling people how it should be done.
So they were like, hey, Christmas, figure it out. That's wild.
So the only actual rule right now for Christmas is you come to church on Christmas. But everyone else celebrated in vastly different ways. Some of them had their own ideas of how it should be done. Now, there were a couple things that kind of happened around this time, and you're gonna... I found this wild.
Okay.
Wild. On Christmas, in the early days, you would go to church and party like it was Mardi Gras. So full-on in-church drinking. Like, so much alcohol, so much revelry. And each year, a beggar or student would be crowned Lord of Misrule, with the whole church playing their devoted subjects as a way to give back to their community.
The church was over here like, guys, I know it's hard being religious, but one day a year I'm gonna let you party.
We get to
party.
Party.
We're gonna have a rager, and it's not gonna be like your youth pastor's rager. It's gonna be a rager.
Now, like, stories of this kind of stuff spread.
Yeah.
A lot. And because of that, again, a lot of people came up with their own meanings and their own ideas of what Christmas really meant and what it was there for. But the big consensus was the rich needed to give to the poor.
Yeah, they do.
And so the poor would go to the houses of the rich and demand their best food and drink and be hazed silly if they said no.
Although poor people are like, you're stupid, you're not Christmas.
So they would, like, actual vandalism, and like, today it would be like we egged their house and teepeed everything, and we stuck potatoes in their mufflers if you don't do the things.
I think we're onto something here if we all band together.
We all just band together.
If we all just band together and went to your local rich friend's house every Christmas.
It's like you have to show receipts for how much money you have and have made that year, and whoever has the most has to host.
Oh, cough it up, you politicians.
Now, for some crazy times.
Okay.
Because, again, Christmas, it's a thing. It's a thing that a lot of people celebrate, and it is still a pretty big holiday, right? And it was extremely well received by the most part, because it was just a great excuse to get drunk and party and have a good time.
Yeah.
And again, it was, like, used as a, we're poor, you're rich, cough it up, was the big consensus.
The Pope thought of that one?
The Pope?
The Pope was like, yeah, I'm down with this?
Well, again, the Pope had the idea.
The
way the people decided to celebrate that
like,
was...
okay, maybe I should have told them how to celebrate this.
It was pretty crazy. Now, in the early 17th century, Oliver Cromwell and his Puritan forces took over England in 1645.
Okay.
They vowed to rid England of its decadence and canceled Christmas.
The Puritans coming in canceling Christmas.
The people were not happy about this.
Oh, no.
And King Charles II was brought back into power, and with him, Christmas.
King Charles was like,
No, my people love me. My people, I brought Christmas back. I'm the best.
Stiffs in America.
Yeah, I'm the best. Now, from 1659 to 1681, it was outlawed in Boston. Christmas was outlawed, and anyone showing Christmas spirit, quote, was fined 5 shillings. There's a lot of controversy about Christmas right now.
So, like, Christmas is an unpopular opinion in the States.
Yes, especially, like, the American people breaking free from British rule and the whole thing there.
We can't be like them.
They were very much, like, there was a lot of hatred towards any tradition that was seen as British.
It's like the younger sibling that gets the hand-me-downs, and they're like, I want to be my own original self!
I want to be my own original self!
It's like, all you know is what your sister gave you, though.
Exactly. Now, it was not till the 19th century that Christmas was celebrated in the States by Americans kind of wide, because it was rebranded.
Oh?
As a way to stop class war. Are you ready?
Give it to me straight.
The layers of this onion were nuts. I was like, this is public knowledge.
You're like, wait, people can just pick up a history book and know this?
Now, with unemployment at a all-time high in the States, there was a lot of gang rioting by the less fortunate during the holiday season.
Yeah.
Now, in 1828, New York had to send cops to the very first ever Christmas riot. It had gotten so bad that these guys were kind of just, yeah, Buck?
Can we help you?
It had gotten so bad between, like, the unemployment rate and just everybody feeling like they were getting gypped and they were getting blah, blah, blah. So much unrest and unease in the world at this time that they were like, we have to do something about this. But nobody knew what to do. You know, like, there's only so much you can do. There's only so many jobs that are going around. And when the economy's not doing super great, there's only so much everybody can do. Right? So.
Slowly turns page.
Around this time, authors came out with such books as A Christmas Carol and the Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon, telling stories of the true meaning of Christmas.
We're changing the true meaning of Christmas. People are rioting at rich people's houses and they gotta stop.
This would set into motion one of the greatest illusions of our time.
Okay.
Now, when you think of A Christmas Carol,
yeah,
you see, like, people in old style clothing, you know, like, celebrating Christmas.
Early America type of, you know.
That was bullshit. That was absolute bullshit. Yeah. That was not how Christmas was celebrated. That was not the meaning of Christmas.
What was the meaning of Christmas?
The meaning of Christmas was to get drunk, go to church, and put a crown on a beggar. That's what Christmas was. Or if you were poor, you went to literally the richest dude's house in town and basically made him give you steak and wine. Like, that was what it was originally.
Do you think they still do that in Europe?
That'd be fun!
You're from Europe. Let me know. How do you celebrate Christmas?
Now, the world would use Christmas as the largest scapegoat into tricking people into being nice since the creation of religion.
Yeah.
Because it was always peddled as like goodwill towards men, and you have to be
Mhm.
charitable around this time. You have to be nice and kind and giving, and give to your fellow man as you would want given unto you. All this stuff.
Mhm.
And it was all bullshit.
Well, yeah, because if you think about the original meaning of Christmas, they literally made everybody equals. The poor people got to get gifts from the rich people. And now it's just the rich people being like, hey, we have to be nice to each other, guys.
Exactly. So
It's always the rich
all
people.
of these stories portrayed exactly that. It was this rich, crotchety, kind of grumpy old person opening up their doors and being nice, and really understanding the true meaning of Christmas, and to give back, and to really be there with your community.
I mean, look at every single Christmas movie ever. And to be fair, it's a good meaning of Christmas. It's a good meaning of Christmas, but the way that it's done here is just manipulative.
Now, are you ready for the coolest thing that came out of this?
Tell me the coolest thing that came out of this. Is it the Coca-Cola polar bear?
Now, seeing these stories had tricked families into thinking that people had always done Christmas this way. This is what Christmas was.
It's like, why are you guys rioting? You're ruining Christmas as it's always been.
As it has always been.
That's wild. And it makes so much sense because it's not like you can pop out an iPhone back then.
But over the next 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
people look to their families from all over the world to tell them how to celebrate Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what these people told their dewy-eyed children?
Hmm.
They told them things from their culture. Almost every part of Christmas is actually a piece of culture or old tradition, kind of mismashed and put into something new.
Okay.
So if you think about the Yule log,
Mm-hmm.
the Christmas tree, decorating it, sending Christmas letters, baking cookies.
It makes so much sense because if somebody tells you this is what Christmas has always been, but you've always celebrated it a certain way, then you could be like, oh, I'm hopping on the trend, but I'm just going to do like my family tradition.
Now here's where things get kind of beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Because this was something not just for one of us or for some of us, but for all of us. A small piece of where we came from for everyone to enjoy, and I love that.
That is very cute. I like that over the years it's become a big, just a culmination of a bunch of different people's traditions. And obviously, each individual still has their own individual traditions, and I
Yeah.
do think that that's super cool.
So Christmas is it's kind of this really crazy thing, right? Because the church obviously used it as like a way to push their agenda and kind of get that stuff going, and that was crazy. And then you had like the the rest of America using it as kind of a scapegoat to try and get people to be nice and be good. But it worked. The craziest thing is it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all these people who are genuine, like crime rates go down
Mm-hmm.
on Christmas. You have so much genuine goodwill, and just like the energy of the holiday
Mm-hmm.
permeates the world, and not just America, but
Oh
everywhere.
yeah, because I think the problem is when with the original Christmas, the poor taking stuff from the rich is really good until people start saying no and people start getting angry. And
Yep.
I think that's what it turns into over time, where it's not just I'm going to take stuff from the rich people, I'm going to take stuff from anybody who looks like they have more than me. And then that's where a lot of crime does come from. It's just greed of people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's hardly ever the billionaire that gets robbed. You know, it's
Yes.
the person who works at Arby's as their 9 to 5 while they are in college who gets their car stolen, you know? And so it is cool that over the years, Christmas has become this thing where it's like people are nicer to each other.
And it's also crazy because not only does it exist specifically because we made it up,
Mm-hmm.
the world, like the United States, we just made it up.
Yeah.
But because of that, when you take the core of what America is, which is just a melting pot of people,
Oh, yeah.
everybody from all over the world came up with their own traditions to add to Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people like just view that as normal. They're like, yeah, this is like everybody does on Christmas. but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is an idea brought from Scandinavia. This is an idea brought from Egypt. That, like, the ideas and the traditions and the things that we celebrate on Christmas are all brought from so many different places, but they're put into one big melting pot for everybody to enjoy and get
Yeah,
behind.
that's how it is now, but there's no way that's how it could have been in the first place because people had to
No.
figure out mouth to mouth, word.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what our family does.
Yeah.
Oh, our family does this. It's really cool, and then that just starts getting into the centuries period time of like, oh, what am I
Over
trying
the
to say?
course of 100 years.
Over the course of 100 years, the Be Better Home and Gardens version, 18th century like magazines, like this is what your Christmas should look like, and over the eras too. Like you look at different centuries, and Christmas looks both very different and exactly the same in so many ways. Like the Christmas tree has been here forever.
Yep.
And just now people are starting to get out of the Christmas tree where they don't want to do a Christmas tree, or they'll put up a Christmas tree for Halloween, and Christmas.
Yeah, we're starting to really expand and test out the borders for different holidays. But I guess it's funny because this was the biggest lie I think I've ever seen. I always assumed that it came from like these crazy traditions from forever ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a lie. It was all brought up and kind of fabricated into this package that we all just accepted, and
Mm-hmm.
we took it as, oh, this is the way it's always been. And it wasn't. It wasn't always that way. It was never that way.
Isn't that how something's created though?
But exactly, we believed a story.
Yeah.
We believed a story that we were, kind of fed.
And
And
this
then
is
this
why I think the moon landing didn't happen when it happened. I think we've been to the moon. I just think we biffed it and did it early. I think we cheesed it and did it early. I think we cheesed it to win a race. And then we put the flag up there later. It's too easy to fabricate something and make just. That's something I see on TikTok a lot of the time too, where it's like somebody is like, I am going to make a profile and convince people that I'm this celebrity. It's so easy to influence people.
And I guess the craziest thing to me is the good that came from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time when you see people like faking something, it feels like the only reason they're doing it is for themselves.
Uh-huh.
And very rarely do you ever see anybody else benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
But this was one of the largest, most elaborate lies that I have ever seen. And as I was reading it, I was like, whoa, like, you've got to be kidding me.
I think that's the thing, and I think that's part of the problem is people are kind of starting to get out of that mindset because at one point in time, I feel like Christmas was the ideal, where it's like everybody is celebrating these traditions, everybody's being kind to each other, crime rates are down, and Christmas is about spending time with each other and enjoying yourselves. And over time, that's kind of warped into what product can I sell? What Christmas gift can I get underneath your tree? And so I feel like there was a certain point of time where there was the ideal Christmas of like, we are all just genuinely being nice and celebrating with what we have.
Yeah, I think it brings up a really interesting point, and that's that we all collectively agreed to be better people one day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody did it. And it worked. And we did that for a fabricated and fake reason. But it still worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a lot to be said about if we just choose to come together as like people and to maybe stop sucking a little bit less, we can do incredible things.
Yeah.
You just have to have a reason to get behind, something that makes you want to be a better person, makes you want to really go out there and give back to the community and volunteer at that soup kitchen or help out the needy or do this and that. But the biggest lie of all is that you need some fake reason to do it. It doesn't need to be Christmas to be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be Christmas for you to volunteer at a homeless shelter or a soup kitchen. It doesn't need to be Christmas for you to sign up for a charity and help out those less fortunate than yourself, or to donate something to a worthy cause. Like, if If we could all have that mindset, not one day a year, but every day, the world would be such a better place. Because this proves it.
Mhm.
This proves that you don't need anything. You just need the idea of wanting to be better, wanting to help out, wanting to be there for people. And you can. We proved we can do it. But it's so hard to see sometimes because everybody's like, I love Christmas. Christmas is the best thing ever. And it is. But the reason it is because we've all agreed that it is. We've all come together and said, no, Christmas will be awesome.
Mhm.
Christmas will be great. And then we make it that way. We manifest that into existence. But again, we can make that every day if we really wanted to.
Mhm.
If we really came together as a society, as a people, we could do that.
Mhm.
I don't think we'll ever accomplish that, but it's a really cool thought. Like, it's a really neat thing. And I loved seeing how these different, like, aspects of other people's culture came together to make it what it is today.
Mhm.
That was awesome. And I agree. There's a lot of bad things that happen for Christmas, right? Where it's like there's corporations that take advantage of you. And I mean, heck, the unalive rate sometimes for the depression of the season because you're trying to constantly hit this goal that can't be accomplished because you have to be a good father and a good mom and
And
you
that's
have to
why I
provide
say I
these things for
think
your
at some
kids.
point in time there was a really solid Christmas.
Yeah.
At one point in time there was the perfect idealized Christmas. And I think you can still have that if you choose to still have that.
Exactly.
But there's not everybody can choose that, you know? It's a lot easier said than done, you know?
Because I think that's why those classics have
Mm.
become the way they are. The reason that A Christmas Carol is still played and still used in plays and movies and it's been redone a billion times is because at the end of the day, it is a beautiful message. It doesn't matter why it was created. It is a beautiful idea of everybody coming together and having a moment where we're all equal and we're all happy and everybody's taking care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
That is an idea that no matter how old the earth gets will still be good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like it's a very good message. The idea around Christmas, and that's the thing is it's just straight from that,
Yes.
you know. And but again, if you choose to just like have that core, make it Christmas, you know, because for me too, it's Christmas isn't necessarily about religion, right? Like
No.
I'm not a very religious person. And it's not that I have anything against somebody who is religious, but I just like I myself am not super religious, and so Christmas to me, I don't really associate it with religion. I just
No.
associate it with a feeling, with a day on the calendar, with a holiday,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a reason to be grateful and to be happy and to spend time with your loved ones, you know?
I don't think, and I guess this is kind of an interesting thing. And if we're going to talk about Christmas, we do have to get into this.
Mm-hmm.
Is like Christmas is always centered as like if you are a follower of the Christian faith, that is your big holiday. And I always felt like that was the biggest crock of shit.
Like what?
It did not.
Excuse
It
me.
never, ever did it feel to me like the only people who can celebrate this are people of the Christian faith. Never did it feel that way to me because, to be honest, Christmas was never we're gonna go to church and we're gonna do the
Mhm.
big thing. That was never that way for us.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed at home and we had presents under the tree and we'd
Mhm.
have Christmas breakfast and big Christmas
Exactly.
feast,
You'd
like
stay
dinner.
at home in your pajamas all day.
And yeah, and you just like watch like cartoons and old Christmas movies and stuff, like black and white kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it was the best. And the music was incredible.
Christmas music rocks.
Christmas music is
Halloween
so good.
is my favorite holiday. It is my favorite holiday. It was always be number one, but Christmas is number two.
Christmas is so good. Like the amount of formative memories that I have of staying awake and waiting for Santa and trying, like your eyelids are getting kind of heavy and your parents are just like, come on, fall asleep, you little fucker. Like, I'm sure this stuff as a parent is crazy, but as a kid, like my family made it special for me, and it was snowy and like which always felt like this magical time of the year to me because everything changed. all of a sudden the weather outside is completely different. The environment that you're used to being in is completely changed, and it
Mm-hmm.
is, quote, a winter wonderland.
Yeah.
You have a great
Who
time. You're
coined
throwing
that? They did a great
snowballs.
job.
Whoever coined that, genius. Absolute marketing genius. Because it is a paradise for children.
Mhm.
Not because of the expensive gift or the new Xbox or whatever. No. It really doesn't matter what's under the tree. What matters is spending that time with your family, creating that
Mhm.
magic with them, and being the dad who has to eat the milk and cookies, that's
Mhm.
left out for Santa, and putting fake snow boot prints on the floor
Oh
inside, and
yeah.
making the jingle bells happen. It is so family oriented, it's insane. And that's incredible to me.
It's really fun and it's really nice. Because it is that very family oriented thing. It is very much surrounded by like surround yourself with people you love. But like you said before, it's also the saddest thing in the world for people who don't have that.
Yes.
You know? And so that's where it really comes that's where community really comes in, I think, where it's like if we all just kind of like took time to like band together and like be a community and reach out to others, that might make Christmas even a little more magical. Because that's what you always see in those old timey movies, and so often I feel like it's become it's gonna be a family thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point nowadays where people are like, I'm actually not gonna go visit my extended family. I'm gonna stay home
Mm-hmm.
and just not have to deal with it.
Yeah, just be here.
And some people are fully fine with that. Some people are fully okay with that. And there's also a lot of friend groups who get together as like, this is our friend Christmas because this
Yeah,
is
it's
like,
like
we don't have to be
Friendsgiving, French
alone.
Christmas. Yeah.
Exactly. And so like it doesn't, not everybody thinks of Christmas as a like lonely holiday, but also I feel like a lot of people who don't celebrate in general
Mm-hmm.
or just celebrate a different holiday because they're of a different religion. The next episode is going to be on Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
That's a lie. I don't know what the next episode's gonna be about. But
Oh, what's the Adam Sandler when he was like, when I was growing up as a Jewish kid, there was all these cool Christmas songs and all these fun Christmas traditions, and I didn't really have anything like that. So he made his own Hanukkah song, and because he's like, we had one, we had dreidel dreidel dreidel, and that was it.
Dreidel, dreidel,
Dreidel,
dreidel.
I made you out of play.
Stop.
Yep, that's it. That's all we can get. We'll get sued for sure. What's the copyright?
Yeah,
Anyway,
copyright.
but I think it is. I never want anyone to feel excluded. Christmas to me was always the most inclusive holiday for everyone. It shouldn't be that you just can't celebrate it because this or that. That it's whatever you want to do. Like, it doesn't have to have the religious connotations at all to it. It's just a time to get together with family and enjoy yourselves and eat good food and just have good times. And that's the most important thing about Christmas to me. I'll always remember the times that I spent with my family and the times that we had together, and Christmas was just a good excuse to get everybody together. That was the push they needed to travel. That was the push that they needed to all come out and get together, and it was just an excuse to have family and be together. And I think that can be beautiful. But again, like you said, there's so many people who don't have that for one reason or another. Like, they don't have a close family, or they just don't get along with their family. And that is an extremely sad time for those people, because there's a trope now where it's ordering Chinese food, right? Like, sitting alone and ordering Chinese food on Christmas because you don't have anybody to go spend time with. And that's one of the saddest things in the world to me, is not having anybody to be with. That would be so awful. But I would love to see like a community thing, like you were saying, where it's like maybe an event held at a community center of like, let's all get together and play board games, and like, let's have like a an all you can eat buffet kind of thing. Like, here's a bunch of food, bunch of people just having a good time.
Guys, now we're just workshopping Christmas. So we need you to leave ideas in the comments.
Yeah, leave ideas for what would make Christmas better for you.
I say we start asking the rich for presents again.
It's like Jeff Bezos comes out with like just oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
It could
a
just be
huge
me.
Santa sack.
Maybe I just want that, but I think that's a really good Christmas tradition plan idea that we should bring back, quite frankly.
It was crazy to see how the differences in Christmas changed over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and even to find out that the Pope was basically like, oh, that's a pretty big festival. What if we had our own holiday around that time and just kind of like invited people over to our place?
What if we just kind of like, he was like, we're gonna just get people's foot in the door, you know?
Yeah, just get them over. It's the birth of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Come
celebrate a bit.
Come celebrate.
Okay, y'all are making out a lot.
Yeah, that's
a lot of alcohol. Okay,
like, like you can bring. Yeah, sure, you can bring a beer in. Why not? And then it just kind of escalated.
Okay, you're putting a crown on that young man.
Yeah, like what the heck is going on? Oh, we're his servants today. Oh boy.
The Pope just stays in his office on Christmas. Like you guys have fun.
Yeah, the Pope's just got a bottle of whiskey. Like, what have I done?
What have I done?
Lisa might not have been in the way. The Pope is also Mario, by the way.
The Pope is listening right now. His team of agents who listen to every time somebody says the word Pope is listening.
It's an assassin from the Vatican coming for us now. On his way.
You don't hear from us at some point.
On a private golden jet.
Oh, that's so dumb.
That would be insane. But I thought something that maybe might be fun for this episode is sharing some of our Christmas traditions. Some of the things that maybe our family enjoyed doing and had just,
I love it. Who's going first?
I'm happy to go first. So it was pretty big with my family, and I don't know if this is something that not everybody did, which is kind of interesting to me. I always thought it was like a super normal thing, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. That was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So you get to open one present on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And you always got to, like, pick which one you want. And so my mom would get really creative with it, and you'd never want to pick the biggest present because it was always the BS present. That was the decoy. That was the fake out.
She knew.
Yeah, she knew you were going to go for that one. And so if you went for the biggest present first, it was always like socks. Or like clothes, or
One year the biggest present is actually
the thing. She switched it up on you. But she was really good at doing like the gag gifts and stuff too.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So she would put like, I remember she did this for somebody where it was like, I want to say it was like 10 or 12 boxes. And then the final box, it was inside a box, inside a box, inside a box. And the final box, it was like a golden ring.
Uh-huh.
Taped to the top of the lid.
That's evil!
Evil. EVIL.
That's crazy. I love that. That's hilarious. So one of my my family Christmas traditions is we did Christmas Eve too. I do want to add on. We did the Christmas Eve too. We did the present too. But I think there were some years where we got to choose a gift. Most of the time we were given the gift, and it was always Christmas pajamas.
Yeah, like here you go.
Every single time it was Christmas pajamas. And so, but we did do the Christmas Eve, one gift on Christmas Eve. Another tradition that we would always do, and this would always happen when we went to my Nana's house specifically, we never did, like, I think we probably had pies and that sort of thing. You know, like your Christmas pie after you feast on ham, and mashed potatoes, and green bean casserole. You have, like, pies and stuff at the end. Well, at my Nana's house, she made so many cookies. My Nana bakes. This was before she went gluten-free, even though she doesn't need to be gluten-free. She made the best desserts. And the best cookies. I remember these sugar cookies she had. She is a great baker. She just does it gluten free now, and it's different than what I remember. um, but my nana always made peppermint ice cream.
Oh, okay.
So
That
instead
was
of
the
having like a
tradition.
hot dessert, we would get the ice cream machine going because it was always so cold outside. We just put the whole ice cream machine outside with a little bit of ice, a little bit of rock salt, and we'd have homemade peppermint ice cream, and it was.
Delicious.
We should make some this year.
I would love to make ice cream. I've never gotten a big opportunity to do so,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always been excited to do it. But like, unless you have the machine or you have the stuff, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot harder. But that would be extremely fun. I would love to make
I
some of
can get
that.
my nana's recipe. We can. Maybe we'll make it for the internet.
Hey, for the internet, there we
We could take
go.
turns doing the Ziploc bag method, shaking
Oh,
a Ziploc bag because we don't have. I either so how I've done homemade ice cream without an ice cream machine before is either you get two Ziploc bags, a smaller one that has the ice cream base in it, a larger one that has your ice and your rock salt in it,
okay.
and then you just shake it.
Why is it rock salt?
Rock salt makes the ice colder.
Really
I think.
interesting.
I could be fully wrong. I also think the salt itself flavors the ice cream a little bit. So you
Hmm.
know how you will add like a pinch of salt to cake to kind of bring out the sweetness?
Yeah.
Same idea.
Hmm.
But I'm pretty sure it has something to do with making the ice. It's either I don't I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. I just maybe I'm assuming things. Um
Our family's big thing for holidays was always seafoam candy.
Yes, you were telling me about that.
That was a huge one. So it's kind of like if you imagine taking cotton candy and then freeze drying it,
Uh-huh.
that's seafoam candy. So it kind of breaks off. It's very brittle and just kind of chips but when it hits your tongue it like melts.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool.
That's super fun. I remember because we always did the same when especially with my dad we made so much Christmas candy, so we do like the
Fudge and
soft caramels,
cookies.
divinity,
Mm-hmm.
fudge, just so much Christmas. I don't know why the tradition was to make so much homemade baked slash candy sugar confections on Christmas, but it was. And maybe it's just our families, but like there's always so much sugar. Anyways, one thing that we would do every single year is we'd get some sort of bowl or jar or container and we would fill it with peanut M&Ms. The Christmas colored peanut M&Ms. And when I tell you, I could polish off a whole vase full of peanut M&Ms by myself on
Oh,
Christmas. My family told me that I had become allergic to peanut M&Ms because I had eaten so many of them, and I was either I think I want to say I had eaten so many of them and I was like sneezing nonstop or something, or I was coughing and I was starting to get a cold or something. My family told me I ate so many peanut M&Ms that I became allergic to it.
wow. That's insane.
Like my fingers would be permanently stained that reddish greenish middle color that happens when the red and green peanut M&M coating melts off onto your
Mm-hmm.
hands, cuz I would just grab handfuls of them and then retreat to the couch, and then like a little gremlin I would just shovel them into my mouth. And then I would go
That's
back for another handful.
that's awesome.
We also did candied pecans, and they literally never lasted more than a day. They're so good. They're spicy. They're like, you couldn't handle them spicy.
Okay.
But they're so spicy and sweet and perfectly toasted, and I have got to get the recipe this year because I literally haven't had them in years.
Um Another tradition my family had was every year my mom would get me a custom ornament.
My grandparents started doing that. They started doing that when we were older. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
do it like every year when we were younger,
Yeah, but I'd
but
get like a special ornament, and I remember one year, oh, it was so cool because she would always try and kind of like outdo herself a
uh
little
huh.
bit, and I think it was her own personal mission to get me the coolest ornaments. And so like we started out super simple with like the really pretty glass ornaments, and they were just oh my gosh, gorgeous, like Italian glass kind of stuff, like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, I kind of want to do some of the crazier things. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is fun, but like, I want to get wild with it.
Yeah.
And I remember one year, Harry Potter had just gotten big.
Yeah.
Big. And they had come out with a special line of holiday ornaments. And it was Harry Potter. And it was a circular, like, ball, right?
Uh-huh.
But you could only see one half of it.
Okay.
And it was kind of like see through, but it had Harry standing on like a pedestal,
Yeah.
and it was him in front of the mirror,
Uh-huh.
right? And so it was like just a reflection of him in the mirror and like the whole little area. It was very elaborate, very
Uh-huh.
cool. But there was a little socket in the back of it,
Uh-huh.
and it was the perfect size for a single
Uh-huh.
Christmas light from a tree.
Okay.
And if you plugged it in,
Uh-huh.
you could see Harry's parents through the mirror.
That's wild.
It was really cool. It was really cool. The second you unplugged it, it went back to being
Do
a mirror.
you still have it?
It's in one of my boxes in storage, yeah.
That's wild.
I
We
love it.
always had shoe boxes that were full of ornaments that we had
Yeah.
made over the years.
That was
It
my special
always
box,
homemade
yeah.
ornaments.
Oh,
we,
so
like,
many of those too.
we had like store-bought ones of like the big packs of like glass ball ornaments. I used to eat those, by the way. But I was a baby. This was another Christmas tradition. When I was a baby, my parents only decorated the tree from about 2 feet and up because baby Emily would eat glass ball Christmas ornaments.
I really don't know how you didn't die.
It's neither do my parents.
Sorry, I didn't know how you didn't unalive.
Like,
Hold on.
neither did my parents. I think they actually took me to the doctor. Never once got a cut in my mouth. Never once had a cut, internal bleeding or anything like that. I was fully fine, just munching on glass balls.
Insane. Like, I remember those things were sharp.
Yeah.
Like, they would inevitably they would fall and break, and then like you'd be picking them up, right, and you just slice the crap out of your fingers.
They are not the same as they are today. And you know what I think it is? I think that as adults, you know, like, something is going to be sharp when you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just instinctively know. Well, baby Emily was like, I don't give a shit. And she just started gumming it. She's just like, mwah, mwah, mwah. And I think because there's not a lot of muscle there yet, there's not a lot of hard cartilage. It was just literally gushing into stuff instead of cutting.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because I never did get a cut.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's another Christmas tradition. Don't let your babies eat glass.
Yeah.
PSA from
Yeah, it's bad for you.
I had another tradition that I was going to say. Oh, I have a question for you. Do you remember having a favorite Christmas gift?
Oh, like any particular one where I was like, this is the one. It was my Nintendo 64.
That's really good.
I got a Nintendo 64 when I was a kid, and I had Pokemon Arena, and I had Donkey Kong Crystal Island, and they were the coolest thing. I was not a popular child, but let me tell you, whenever my cousins had friends that came over, they were always in my room playing on my Nintendo 64. Okay? All right.
You knew.
I knew, yeah. They knew what they were up to. For sure, that one. What about you?
So mine is a bit of a tragic story, actually, and it's going to be a PSA to people everywhere. I honestly, one obvious one is like, this was a joint gift between me and my sisters, which is why it's probably not my favorite one, but it's a good one. It was our Wii that came with the Rock Band.
Ah, yes.
We didn't have Rock Band, we had Guitar Hero. So it was the Wii that came with the Guitar Hero. Me and my sisters played the crap out of Guitar Hero when you were younger. I loved that game. I lived, breathed. I was that game for the longest time. I only got to the medium level difficulty. I never made it to expert, but I was getting there. But my favorite present that was just for me that I remember was, I'll always remember it because it was under the tree, and I spent that entire year trying to figure out what the hell this thing was, because it was the weirdest shape. And so it's basically like a bowl, because it was a bowl. I open it up, you know that metal bowl that we have over here? Not the big one we got at the garage sale, but that's not the smallest one, but that medium-sized one?
Yeah.
That's the bowl. I got
Wow.
that bowl. Inside of it was a chef's hat, a chef's coat, and I want to say that whisk with the wooden handle on it as
Oh,
well.
wow.
And the tragic part comes in was I was a tubby little one. I've been tubby all my life, and that chef's coat did not fit me.
Oh.
And so we took it back to the spice shop that my dad got it at, and it was the biggest one they had. So,
Oh.
PSA to companies, be inclusive, because you ruined a little girl's dreams that year, and I've never owned a
Oh.
chef coat since.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's fine. It's still like,
I
I still
guarantee
have
you could
that
get one
bowl.
now that would fit.
Right? Like, look at me now.
Like, I've seen some pretty chonky chefs. Like,
And
just
like,
saying, they have those
yeah,
coats.
and luckily we returned it, and I got to pick out whatever I wanted from the store that was like the same amount of money. So I got my like first like fun spices because it was a spice shop. So I think I got like a lavender vanilla sugar.
Only you,
Yeah,
as a child, would be like, oh, thank
I was
God,
like 11 or
I
12.
have so much money to spend at this spice shop. That's incredible.
I want to say I also got like a Morton pestle or something. I can't. Maybe that's when I got the whisk. Is when we exchanged it.
We
But
have
yeah,
vastly different ideas of what sounds like fun
I think
as a
I think
child.
that was also the same year that I got my Nickelodeon cookbook.
Oh shoot! You were gonna be a little chef. It was in the stars.
But yeah, that's the most notable. Like I want to say I got a bike for Christmas a couple years, but I think
Oh yeah.
that's the most. For some reason, that one just sticks out in my mind. I will never forget. Again, the entire Christmas that year, I was like, the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
Like trying to figure it out because it was such a weird shape and it was wrapped all like wonkily. And I want to say that the chef coat was sticking out of it too, so it didn't just look like a bowl. It looked like a bowl with like something coming out of it. Like it was weird. I don't know how that even happened.
I uh, I love my grandma had a Christmas tradition for the longest time, and she has this bad habit of getting rid of things that she loves.
Yeah.
Like she'll kind of just either give it to somebody or whatever, and then she'll be sad she doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of these stories was true for her Christmas village.
Not a Christmas village.
It was a beautiful Christmas village, and every year, without fail, she would put it up, like the whole setup, and she would add to it. So she had one of those magnetic ice rinks where the skaters will actually like move around and follow a pattern and skate, and she had like actual lit up houses and like a whole town, like a whole little Christmas village. And there was a bakery and there was a shoe shop and there was Santa's workshop over here. And it was this whole thing. And there was like little figurines that went with it. And she had a little Santa and like a sleigh with reindeer and everything. And if you clicked a button, like Santa would be like, Merry Christmas, ho ho ho. And it was like the beautiful model train setup, because she actually had a model train that went around the Christmas village. So beautiful, so beautiful. It was great. And over the years, she kind of just like, oh, here's for you to start your Christmas village, and she would like give away a building or maybe a couple little figures here and there, and then it kind of just wasn't what it was before.
This is devastating. My grandma, the one that you've actually met,
Mm-hmm.
my Grammy Linda had a Christmas village, and like my grandpa, we had the train one year that went around the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
She didn't get it out every year because the place where she had it set up was like a China hutch,
Uh-huh.
and so there wasn't a ton of space on it, and so she couldn't have like a train going around it. But as an avid Christmas village admirer, that is devastating.
She had this huge, like, white fur placemat for it, so it looked like snow.
My grandma used pillow fluff, like just like cotton, like she just like polyester fluff. She kind of shoves it in there.
It was, like, it was beautiful. But that was one of her big things, and I remember even quite a few years in a row, that was one of her Christmas gifts. Was we would get her a new piece for her
Yeah.
for her village, her Christmas village. And it was really cool because it was like we get to see her at it, and she was always so excited and so happy about it. But it was kind of sad that became like, went away over the years. But There's also like the homemade ornaments like you were talking about, but it's crazy the stuff people would make. Like a lot of the times it's like here's a picture of my kid and here's another picture. Like every year you do the pictures. And then like the popcorn garland was huge. Everybody loved the popcorn garland. But dried fruits
Mm-hmm.
was a big one too, where it's like I'm gonna dry oranges, I'm gonna dry apples, and then I'm gonna just hook a little thing through that, and that's my ornament for the year. And I'm like, whoa,
I
crazy.
love decorating for Christmas, and every year when I live with my dad, he has our Christmas decorations now. I don't have any of them. I have a little bit of them, I guess, but I would go ham. And you know, I do this already for other holidays too, but it's very specifically like Halloween. I go ham with decorating. I love decorating for Christmas. That was a big tradition for us, but we never really dried fruit or anything like that. We did more of the like commercial style, like here is your lights that you get, here's a big Christmas tree, maybe there's a garland somewhere, here's like, we had a lot of boxes that were like snowmen that stacked, and we had a lot of like wooden figures. I love a good wooden figure.
Nutcrackers are great.
Nutcrackers are great. My grandparents had a really good collection of nutcrackers, but I'm talking about like these super basic wooden posts that had like a stuffed animal on them almost. It's exactly like my little pumpkin and witch figurines over
Oh,
here,
okay, yeah.
where it's like a piece of wood that's just a block that's cut out of, and then you paint over it. It's very like
Mhm.
vintage Christmas, is
Mhm.
kind of how I think of it. That's my favorite way to decorate for Christmas. Of just like, you have these old, dull, dusty looking things that look like they've been up in a box all year, but they're colorful and they're smiling and they're happy at you, and there's this snowman who's come to life, and like, I love decorating and making it feel cozy.
That's fair. That's so cute. I do love like the holiday decorations are half of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like putting up the lights and the tree and all that fun stuff.
I also gotta say, every single year for Christmas, a lot of times we'll try to do like homemade gifts and stuff. When I had a job that I was making a decent amount and like could pay rent and like had a little bit extra afterwards, it was my goal every year to make somebody cry on Christmas. I'm like, I want to give you the most thoughtful gift ever, that you know that I know that you know that I know. You know? Like my great Nana and Papa. I knew my great Nana and Papa, both of them. They're clowns when they were younger.
Oh wow.
They're no longer with us, but they
Oh, I'm
were.
sorry.
It's okay. I knew them, but it was very loosely.
Fair.
And they had a very annoying poodle. Nothing against poodles. This one in particular was just very annoying and tried to eat me. Um, but like me and my sisters got them, like, and we were younger at this point. We were like middle school maybe, and we were like scrounging all of our, because we always got a Christmas budget where it's like you get this much money to spend on whoever you want. And so when whoever we were going to that year for Christmas, we were like, okay, these are the people we have to like budget for.
Yeah.
And we would combine our money to give people certain gifts. So we
Yeah.
gave my great great grandpa, my great great grandma this, like, it was just a super basic like white person picture frame that says family on it.
Mhm.
I guess I you can cut that out. It was just a super basic picture frame that said family on it, and then we just went through photo albums and put pictures of each of the different family members in it.
Mhm.
Oh, they bawled. It was great.
It was great. That's incredible.
I like paying attention to what people like and what people might want, you know?
Mhm.
And like, for me, that's, I would rather just not give a gift if it's kind of like half-assed
Mhm.
than like, I would rather just not.
I think there's merit in that, and there's also like it really just depends on the person. Me as a kid, I remember Grandma would come to visit because she didn't live with us at the time,
Yeah.
and we lived at the property. But she would come to visit, and she would have a trunk full of these like gas station toys. And they were literally just like little paper airplanes you could put together, and frisbees and
Yeah.
footballs, and she would, because her sister owned an army surplus store, she would have like little knives and just like crazy little pocket stuff for us just for fun. And I remember those being crazy. I was so excited whenever she would come with the trunk full of goodies. It was awesome. But a lot of people would view that as like, well, that's not really personal, like that's kind of
And I
just
think
a bunch of random shit.
I think that it's fine giving a gift to somebody randomly as a spur of a moment thing, but when it's a specific thing where it's like, especially if it's like a Secret Santa or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that
Secret Santas and
and
stuff are
here's the
different
thing
too.
is that like when there's an obligation to give gifts, I do really think that it's like the thought that counts, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah.
But I guess if it's somebody that you care about, for me it's like, oh, if I care about you, then I know you well enough to get you something that you would appreciate and like, not just something that I put together because I had it laying around, you know?
Fair.
But at least that's just how I think about it. And it really, you're right, it just dependent on person to person basis. I just really like putting that thought in and being like, what's the exact thing that you want?
I was also always a little bit different than a lot of, or like some of my other family members, because there were moments where they would get something like, um, my cousin got a new dress,
Hmm.
and she was like, but they didn't have it in like pink.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she'd be like, I like the dress, but I don't like the color, and I don't like this and that. And I was always happy to get literally whatever I got.
Yeah.
It was never a question of like, oh man, I wish you would have gotten me this kind instead, or like yada yada yada, because I was always taught that was huge, mad disrespectful to be that way for anything. Like you will be grateful for everything that you get, and I was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was genuinely like, it was just, oh, that was really nice that you thought of me. Like, this is really cool. Thank
Yeah.
you. And I have a bunch of stuff that I refuse to throw away because it was gifts from people. And people ask me, like, why do you have this? Like, this is a really weird thing. And it's just like, shut up, that's mine. It was given to me by somebody I care about. It's important.
Semi-minimalist, maximalist.
It's important.
And that's the thing too, where it's like, I have never been afraid to get rid of a gift or return a gift, but I think there's a huge difference between like being appreciative for something but it not necessarily being for you, because that's what gift receipts like are there. I think it's definitely very rude to be like, oh, why didn't you do this thing, you know? That sucks, and I don't think that should ever happen.
Mm-mm.
But I also don't, I've always been a big advocate, but it's like, but if you don't like it, you know, if you didn't actually like, if you were being polite, you know, if you do need to return it and get a different size, because like that that's the sucky thing, especially I think as a plus size person. I grew up a lot with like, I would get a set of pajamas from my nana who
And you
only
couldn't
saw me
use it.
once a year, and I couldn't use it. What am I gonna do with that? And that again, that becomes a little hurtful when it's like you don't even know your grandchild enough
Mm-hmm.
to, you know. So I
Yeah.
think that's, and it's not necessarily their fault either, because especially back then, you know, the world isn't built for people who are bigger boned. Uh, but I think that there is that moment of like, I don't feel an obligation with a gift anymore. I used to. I used to feel a big obligation if something was a gift, but I don't do it as much anymore, because it's like, I can still be appreciative, I can still be grateful without necessarily attaching this item to it, you know?
Yeah, I think I have and it's funny because I see this a lot in guys
Mm-hmm.
and not as much in girls, as when you get something, that isn't the item,
Mm-hmm.
that is the person. So you attach that person to it. And so it's like, I will never use this. This is completely useless to me, but this is my most prized possession because you gave it to me. And I'll do that even with like the most random stuff that you give me, where I'm like, I can't throw this away. Like, this is mine. It will be like you made me a starburst flower, and I
You still
still
have
have
it.
it.
That's right. You still. That's crazy.
I
You haven't gotten
still
ants
have
yet.
it because you made it for me, and it is half melted,
I gotta
and it
say.
is like to the side. Doesn't matter. This
I
is my flower.
I don't think that's a guy and a girl thing. I think that's just a certain type of person thing.
Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe this isn't maybe.
Very possible, but that's my flower.
And that's fair. You can have your flower.
You made
And
it
like,
for me.
you don't hold on to random things like receipts
Sorry.
from every single
Yep.
transaction, or you know, like,
I hold on to things that people give me because to me that was something that you were nice enough and kind enough to give me. And so I treasure it and I hold it with a lot of regard because it's not the thing, it's the person.
wow, this is interesting. We need a warehouse, people.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a warehouse soon. But anyway, I think if you're okay with it, I would like to end with one more Christmas memory.
I love it.
So when I was a kid,
Uh-huh.
we had a big circular driveway.
Uh-huh.
And it was like literally a surrounded center of trees,
Uh-huh.
but it was a circle and it would lead you back out to the road.
Uh-huh.
A lot of like bigger places, like the 10 acres I grew up on, had things like that. Because it was just convenient, you know, like you never had to worry about getting backed up because you just go around, just go around. Well, this was awesome on Christmas because it would snow.
Uh-huh.
And so we would hook with like big thick ropes. We would hook up sleds
Uh-huh.
to the back of the Subaru that we had, and like one of the adults would drive us around the circular driveway, and we would have like our own little chariot, like a snow chariot. The best part is I liked it for that. It was like a diesel powered Christmas sleigh ride for me. But the older kids, it was a challenge.
Of course it is.
It was a test of their fortitude to see how long they could hold on while the adult tried to get the car to go as fast as it possibly could around this circular driveway.
Wild, by the way. I understand doing that, going as fast as you can.
It was crazy.
Buckley was getting into the food.
Oh. What food?
The ones on the shelf. He didn't do it. That's why I snapped at him. But that's why you were looking at me like I did something wrong. I was snapping at Buckley.
No, I wasn't looking at you like you did something wrong. I was just trying to figure out what you had done. We'll figure it out. Anyway. All right, everybody. Well, with that, we will... What?
Nothing. We're good.
Oh, what? Do you have one more?
I was just going to say, it's all good.
No, please tell me.
So, because it reminded me of it, to go as fast as you can around the driveway is insane. We had a hill, similarly, very similar but different. Us, it was a hill. Mm-hmm. We lived literally at the house at the very top of the hill. Mm-hmm. Our driveway itself was like a 45-degree angle, and then you went off to the right and the left, and to the left, there was another like 50-degree angle hill, but it was about 9 to 10 houses long.
Wow.
So it was a solid 500 feet? Yards.
Feet is a lot.
It was a big hill, people.
Big hill. It was big hill, guys.
And so what we do is we grab our sleds. We always had sleds over here, and if we didn't have a sled, we use a big black garbage bag, and we would just sit in it. And what we do is we would hook up with a sled. We would start on the top of our driveway. We'd go down the 45-degree driveway, turn to the left, and book it down the hill.
Wow.
And the worst part was walking back up.
I imagine.
It sucked.
That does sound awful.
But going down was fun. And we'd make ramps and stuff, and cars would come through and break our ramps, and we'd be really sad. That's my Christmas story. That's your Christmas story.
Wow, yes. With that, we're going to end this episode. But let us know in the comments section below some of the fun Christmas memories that you have had with your family. And even if it's not a quote-unquote Christmas memory, as long as it was just a fun holiday memory that you had with your family or friends or whatever you are lucky enough in this world to have. So also, we are going to be doing this all month. So it's going to be 4 Christmas episodes for the whole month of December. We are very excited, and this will be, I think, a lot of fun. Yeah. So, don't forget also, if you haven't, to go check out the Copper Spoon Chronicles, a cookbook adventure made by my beautiful, fantastic fiance over here.
That's me.
It is a cookbook and also a storybook. A little bit of both. A little bit of both. So, if you're interested, please do go check that out. Link in the description. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And we'll see you again in the next one. And until then, Goodbye, merry
Bye!
travelers!
Mary has a whole new meaning!